All right, we are back with another video, but this time we're going to be talking about how to build your cars in street style. Um, I did a poll a couple days ago, and the poll was to let you guys kind of pick what video you want next. There was some videos I needed to kind of, revamp since I'm kind of getting this microphone and the YouTube thing up and working. So I I would like to kind of revisit a lot of videos that I've done in the past. That way I can have more explanation in them and you guys have a better understanding with it. But today we're going to just really focus on how to build your cars in street mode. And that way you don't have to build them for like top speed and, you know, such and such like that. Um, so with a lot of cars, mine's are really OEM plus. As you can see, you'll see I have like duplicates of basically almost every car or any vehicle in the game, and that's just how I kind of build my cars. I don't really do too much. I don't do too little, and a lot of my cars they are sound like their sound is different. The modifications are different. A lot of things are different with these cars, and I just like to have multiple of them. Now that's just me though. Some people don't like having multiple. They're usually kind of dissatisfied with the car that they got. But the way how this game works is that you can be really creative with the sounds, and you can make them very unique. So that's pretty much how I do it. I just like to have a unique car, and then I like different colors. So what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna start off with a brand new car. I'm gonna make another. Let's see here. I don't know what I'm gonna make. I would use another 350Z, but we'll kind of hold off on those Nissans for a while. So one of my favorites, I'll tell you what, I'll start off with a Ford Shelby GT350 Aura. So let's see here. Shelby's up, there it is. So I'm gonna start off on a car that's like fresh, completely stocked. That way we all can be on the same page. Now you could build the car together with me, that's up to you, or you just want to watch this video and you might have to save it in memory, but whatever works, works. Dang, 75,000? Man, this car is expensive. I'm about to go broke. Here. Usually it's a lot quicker, but I got an Xbox Series X, man. It shouldn't be going this slow. Oh boy. Alright, here we go. So if you decide to like this method of modifying your car, by all means go for it. I just want to be able to help you customize your car for street style and not really for racing. So the way how I customize my cars is a little bit different. Some people kind of use they use the Forza Vista to kind of go through different areas of the car to, modify, but I like to do it like this in the upgrade shop. So 9 times out of 10, I usually don't touch the engine first. I usually touch like the platform and handling and drivetrain and all that. But with this car, I would like to twin turbo it. So usually I go to the conversions first, twin turbo them, and then I can move back to the platform and handling, because I don't touch the motor. I mess with the motor last because that's like the best part for me. So, but for street style, I don't really mess with the brakes. The brakes, because some cars come with Brembo, some cars come with Willwood, and some of them just comes with different rotors and stuff like that. And obviously, if you mess with the brakes, it kind of deletes the aftermarket ones and puts on the best one. Now, if you can't brake, by all means, put those suckers on. But if you have no problem with braking, then go for it. But I mean, at the same time, I mean, this is really for street style, so you're not really going fast. I always go to race springs no matter what I do to my cars. Even if I'm racing or not, race springs are always the best way to go. I upgrade my anti-roll bars, front and rears, and I usually don't touch the roll cage. The roll cage kind of mess up my visibility sometimes. Now, if you want a roll cage in your car, by all means, go for it. I'm not judging you, but this is usually how I modify my cars. I usually don't touch the roll cage. I like to keep everything like OEM plus. Weight reduction, can't go wrong with that. Always have to add the weight reduction. I mess with the clutch a lot, but one thing I don't mess with is the transmission. So I spoke about this in one of my car sound videos. And if you don't know that the transmission actually changes the noise of your car. Now, sometimes, depending on the car, sport transmission will have noise, and some of them would not. So it will have the strict cut gears noise in certain cars with the sport, but some of them don't. The race transmission would definitely have it. So if you install that sucker, you're gonna hear a loud whine noise, and it's gonna be obnoxious. Only if you're cruising, that is. For racing, it doesn't bother you. But I usually don't touch the transmissions at all. Um, I just keep them stocked because if you want that raw sound of it, then by all means, go for it. The race driveline. Basically everything is just race. Now here's probably an important part to some people. A lot of people could never catch traction in some cars they built. But honestly, I think it's just the way how that car was built. Like maybe that car is built for like racing or competition, and they just use it for a cruise event, and it's not made for that. So that's probably one of the things about that, because tires can play a big role in this game. Now with the tire compound, I always go to not slick race tire. I always go for those. I was about to say semi slick. I go for those all the time. I always widen up the tires, front and rears. Racers don't really do anything. They just give your car more of an aggressive stance, if you ask me, in this game. See, like the front is a little bit off. Hang on. I don't know why the front's already like that. Alright. I'm not gonna change the rims because I'm gonna keep this car just the way it is when it comes to visuals. So we did everything but the engine. So this is like, it kind of reminds me of when I did the car sound video. Kind of brings me back a couple months ago. So I'm gonna do the traditional stuff like I always do. I always upgrade the fuel system, the ignition, and all the stuff besides the intake, the exhaust, and if the car has forced induction, I don't mess with it. So gonna go ahead and go through all these. I did the valves. I did do the valves. Sometimes I forget. I kind of overlook things because I'm skipping like 2 or 3 modifications. Oh, but all right. So this is also how I modify my car. So I don't know if you knew this, but you can rev your car in the festival or the house wherever you're in, and I kind of like to listen to it. So see what we got. Gonna do the intakes first. Yeah, I like the sport a lot better. I like the stock exhaust better. Other exhausts are good too, but I, like the stock one better. Why not? Yeah, so sport might be the best, and that's pretty much it when it comes to like making your car street. Now, sometimes, not all the times, I'll tune the car, but it's nothing like crazy. Um, if I want the car a lot lower, then I do that. Sometimes I lower the PSI. That's just in case if my car, starts spinning out. But I have a really good dead zone setting, so that pretty much settles the score with a lot of stuff. And if you haven't messed with your dead zones, I would highly recommend it because that would save you a lot. If you play like Call of Duty, Rocket League, or any type of racing game, then it would kind of settle the score with stuff like that. But that's pretty much it. There's really nothing to it when it comes to making your car street. You're just not really downloading the tune, and that kind of helps out with a lot of stuff. A lot of people like to download tunes and hope that it will work, but it also doesn't. Um, Now the thing is, I don't know if you guys know this in my streams. I like to kind of go to the difficulty settings and change the shifting. I'm gonna have to talk more about this in another video because it's a little bit of a description to go through. But since this car is a 6-speed manual with clutch, I like to drive it in manual with clutch because it does make a difference. But you can see how I kind of drive. Like I'm not always on the throttle, Like I may be like 50% or maybe 45. And you notice probably in my cruise events, I'm always in the highest gear. So if you don't know how transmissions work, a lot of automatic cars, they go to the highest gear if you're on a highway. That way it can save fuel and also save, basically your speed when it comes to miles per hour. That way you can stay in kind of gear and whatnot. But that's usually how you control your car. A lot of people kind of use automatic, and the RPMs just go jumping. They always go jumping, and you know, it's kind of difficult to control your car like that. But like, you know, 6th gear, barely on the throttle, would give you a better response when it comes to handling. And my turning is really good. Again, I am on controller, so. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole video. I don't really think there's anything else. This is a video game. There's not really much to kind of dive into. But that kind of settles the score right there. Now you can do this to almost any car. I'm not too sure about like supercars or, well, maybe supercars. Hypercars are different though, because that car is really just built for speed. So there's not really, you can kind of make it to a street style. But any car that's like a JDM or, you know, classic muscle or anything like that, basically you want to do the same thing. Classic muscle is a little bit different, but I don't touch the not the transmission, I'm sorry. I don't touch the suspension with that car. Even if it's like race or not, I just don't really mess with it. I like to keep my classics classic, you know? So, but that usually kind of does it with cars like that. If you want to see me make a classic muscle car, by all means, let me know down below in the comments. And I don't mind making that. And, but yeah, that's how you really make a street style car. Now, I could make a design and all that, but, you know, too much work. I want to kind of keep my videos short and simple. But, see here, you better watch me shift down a little bit. Sometimes I just shift off with it first whenever I'm parking, but this depends. But yeah, that's the whole thing. Like I said, there's nothing to it. If you guys got any questions, feel free to let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next one.